Well, hello. Welcome back. Let's talk about Lap 3 and what it's going to entail. I think this is one of the funner ones of the week, or weeks you have of assignments. It's just going to be a tank, but first things first, watch your lecture, do your discussion board. Afterwards, you're going to have this fun little guy, and I'm just going to fire open the PID BOM and the PID. And we can take a look at these PDFs and see if they work in this case. It's really kind of iffy. I may just end up deleting all the PDFs and make you guys use the AutoCAD files, even though I hate it just because of the convenience. But it looks like, I've given you a DWF, of course, for you to look at and compare your model. And then you know how you use the pump in a past class. Well, same deal. You're going to have a head, which is to say an ellipsoidal head. It's this portion over here. You're going to have it. As you can see, these are some more useless PDFs. So we'll just close this. Actually, I shouldn't have closed the last two. All right, so let's download the sheet 1, sheet 2. Okay. I hate how you can't hit enter there. You'd think you should be able to, but apparently you cannot. Okay, so yeah. So you're going to have a tank design. You're going to have a tank assembly. And you've got this little gas blanket. But let's go ahead and reorganize these. So you got sheet 1 and sheet 2 of the tank. First things first, just worry about it and make it. So basically it's the same deal, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, where you're recreating it. And then you're going to do detail drawings. And basically you want them to be, again, perfect recreations of the content I'm giving you. So, well, I guess I should actually mention, same deal, you've got a BOM and apparently a very ineffective PID, which I also need to open. Yeah, so basically what you're given here is, the listing of what you're going to need, and then the BOM has all that info. But it's going to be a tank. You're going to have this, it's called a gas blanket. It's basically a nitrogen blanket. It helps in case, well, there's no reason to get into it, but basically it's very useful to make sure that things run properly with a tank. So then, you're going to basically start with a tank. You're going to model it up, use the heads I gave you. Follow the details that you're given with the BOM. I even have this chart, which what this says, IS and OS, is how far it projects out. And you can tell, like, looking at this flange and pipe, the OS is how far outside of the shell, which is to say the cylindrical body, it extends. And in the same, you have an IS, which is over here. What's funny is it actually looks different. In AutoCAD, these dimensions are kind of, disappointingly overlaying the edges. But, so basically inside of that shell is going to be 1 inch. And given all this information, it's going to be kind of convoluted to look at it first, but you're going to recreate this shell, or this tank. You're going to get all these components in place. And same deal, you're going to have some items you have to look up, but for now on the tank, you shouldn't have to look up much of anything. You're just recreating all of this. And then on sheet 2, you've got some more details which will help you model up everything. And then you can go ahead and take that tank assembly and slap it in a new assembly. And this is going to be the top level one. And this is also where you're going to paste in this gas blanket when you do it. And, all the components themselves, like the, the blind flanges you see here, which those are in Content Center Design Library, relief valves, and this Inferno gauge. These are a lot of like standard components, but haven't actually used them, at least you'll be familiar with them when you get on the job. And then there's this guy. Now, the only thing you're going to be getting from Content Center Design Library in this case is going to be like, these nipples and unions and couplings, the T's, the crosses, all of these parts like this guy and this dude, they're all going to be custom made. You're going to have to build them from cut sheets. So that's why, again, you've got this and your BOM here to figure it out. And notice it's called a nitrogen blanket here. That is the technical term. So, but once you have it, same deal. Just slap it into this assembly, get everything constrained. And yeah, I want your detail drawings to look the exact same. So make sure your parts list match, your properties themselves all match. You should have every dimension, every bubble. But it's just a perfect recreation. And so this is a good test, because a lot of times what they do in the field, you know, is they'll say, here is what I want, but I want it to be different in this way. And you know, you basically take a drawing and you're like, all right, and you recreate said drawing. So you know, it's pretty much a one-to-one thing is what you'll be doing down the road. But all right, if you have any questions, just get back to me.